Welcome back. The recent End Bad Governance protests in Nigeria may be sparking a long overdue awakening in the northern region, where entrenched issues of poverty, illiteracy, and insecurity have long plagued the region. A recent National Bureau of Statistics report reveals that northern states are among the poorest in Nigeria. This is according to the Multidimensional Poverty Index, the MPI. The 10-day hardship protest saw a surge in northern states, exposing the deep-seated frustration and discontent among citizens in the region who are struggling with the current economic challenges.
The chairman of the All Progressives Congress APC Northern Governors Forum, Abdullahi Sule, has said that the North is sitting on a time bomb, urging the governors to take responsibility and act now. Paradoxically, the northern region, which has produced the most presidents and heads of state, lags significantly behind in development indicators. This morning, we're joined by Abdullahi Awal, public affairs analyst and legal practitioner. Good morning. Thank you for joining us.
Good morning.
Thank you for having me. Good morning.
All right. When the president, the chairman of the APC Northern Governors Forum, said that the North is sitting on a ticking time bomb, can you give us a picture of what he might have meant by that?
Oh yes, if you say so, if he says so, he is absolutely correct, because we have high level of illiteracy, out of school children that are roaming the street of northern Nigeria from every angle of the north. Not only in the north, you will find them in the southwest, in the southeast, and the south-south. Our children are there roaming the street, like I said. And then we are having the highest number of out-of-school children. And that is a very, very, very dangerous trend as far as the northern Nigeria is concerned. And that is caused by hunger, poverty, and the most important of them, insecurity, which is the mother of them all. Like you know, the entire northern Nigeria has been involved with security challenges from the northeast, where we have a very serious challenge of Boko Haram insurgency that has been on in the last 15 years, then down to the northwest and the north central, that we are having the let me say boomeranging effect of kidnappers for ransom, and then if you like bandits, as well as the issue of cattle rustling, farmer-herder clashes, and the rest of them. This truly, like I said, contributed to our northern people not being able to go to farms to produce even the food that they will be able to eat and feed their own family, not to talk of the economic challenges that the north is being engulfed with, because once there's no farming, which our people are known with farming, and when I say farming including rearing of animals, farming of crops for feeding and the likes of it. And when you do that, you take those things to the market for buying and selling. This is what we are mostly known with. And then these things are no longer practicable, so to say, because of the security challenges that we are having. And that made parents not being able to feed their families. And then we have like you know, it's a traditional thing, a traditional religious combination of traditional religion that we have to send our children to go and learn the Quran, where you
now,
have
Mr. Awal, noting that you're citing insecurity as one of the major causes, let's also take a look at other things here. 87% of poor Nigerians live in the north, according to a European Training Foundation. Now, there's a limited access of education, let's not forget that, and also basic infrastructure such as electricity, clean drinking water, and sanitation, and job prospects are low. Now, with all of these in mind, it seems that the last protest actually exposed the level of frustration that the North actually carries. However, noting that we have so many heads of states and also military heads of states and presidents come from the North, what is responsible for the massive neglect that the North has received in the past decades, spanning over almost 6 decades now? What's responsible for that neglect?
I think what is responsible is one major thing. You know, the northerners, the culture of the North teaches one to be fair and kind to your neighbor, no matter the situation. our leaders, yes, we have, North had the opportunity of producing military head of state and civilian presidents. But like you know, in the North, once there's a leader, what he tried to concentrate is to impress the other part of Nigeria, not neglecting the northern part of the country. If you look at all the leaders that we had in the past, once they become leaders from the northern presidents, what they concentrate on is to see to the development of the southern part or the other part of Nigeria, not concentrating on the north. Why? Because they feel that since they have the opportunity of becoming the leaders, if they concentrate on the north, they will say they are assuming that it will be said that it's because they are northerners, that is where they are working towards developing the north. So in that aspect, they tend to neglect northern Nigeria and concentrate in the development of the other part of Nigeria. And this is a tradition of northerners trying to be kind to your neighbor. Let me use this word. When I say neighbor, as Nigerians, you know, you have the southwest, southeast, south, northwest, northeast, and the north central. Most of these leaders, like you rightly put, let me say 80% of the leaders that Nigeria has produced come from the north.
Right.
And the concentration is trying to develop the other part of Nigeria instead of concentrating on developing the north. And then, like you said, the last protest has exposed a lot of things.
But you've talked about the last protest. I mean, in reaction to the last protest you've just talked about, Governor Sule, was credited to say that a number of these protesters were the Almajiri who had no idea why they were protesting. In 2023, our Economic Renewal Forum said poor leadership has been the major reason for the high poverty rate in northern Nigeria. So what instruments can we employ to ensure that we, maybe repurpose the Almajiri system and ensure that we give them the education that will help them out of the streets?
I think the best we can do is revert back to the President Goodluck Jonathan's pattern of the Almajiri system of modern education, where he created the Almajiri schools in the northern region, and then the coming of former President Muhammadu Buhari's administration didn't really give attention to that. At the end of the day, that policy or program died off. If that policy had been continued with, today, most of the children that we're having in the street in the name of Almajiris would have been in the Tangaya schools where Jonathan built. That is where they will have the Islamic education as well as the Western education, and also that they have been provided for or catered for. There's accommodation provision, there's feeding provision, and then and things like that. So that would have reduced greatly the number of out-of-school children in the name of Al-Majri. Al-Majri means Al-Muhajirin, that is working towards searching for knowledge, Islamic knowledge. That's the meaning of Al-Majri, Al-Muhajirin. Those that are in transit, working out, going to search for Islamic knowledge. That Jonathan's administration policy then would have assisted. And I think if President Bola Ahmed Tinubu will take back that policy as abandoned by former President Muhammadu Buhari to work towards reinvigorating it and enhancing it and providing for the welfare and well-being of the out-of-school children, most especially the Al-Muhajirins that like I said, going out in the search of knowledge and providing them with the skills. I think it will reduce the influx of out-of-school children and also reduce the possibility of the time bomb that former Governor Sule of Nasarawa State has rightly put, because truly North is on a time bomb, and the last protests have indicated that. And unless and until our northern governors accept to work towards reintroducing that policy and also providing good leadership and qualitative governance, we are out for a very serious challenge. And
Abdullahi, we would have to interject at this point because we have to end, but thank you for joining us. You've highlighted key points we hope the government will take note of. We'll be wrapping up the show here today. Thank you for joining us, and we'll see you again tomorrow. I'm Olive Emodi.
Mazino Appeal.